I was like, what you mean? Like what you mean? It's my turn. It's my turn to have him. You see the paper. It's my turn. You said it. It's like, yes, but we can't, by law, we're not allowed to go in and forcefully remove the child unless the child is in danger. The most we can do is write a report and make him in contempt of the custody agreement. I was like, what? He's like, yes, that's all we can do. So I call my lawyer. I call up my lawyer. I'm like, look, I'm trying to get Carter. His dad's not letting me get him and this and that. And he was just like, well, I'm gonna see if I can get in touch with his lawyer, because my lawyer and his pay by the hour lawyer, they weren't friends, but they had like a relationship. So he said he was gonna call that person. And I'm just like, all right. He's like, we're going to see what we can do. I know you want to see your child. I'm like, look, because I'm not going to take him. I'm not taking him back to Maryland with me. I just want my weekend. And my lawyer's like, I understand that. Like, I understand. Trust me, I understand. I'm going to see what I can do so that you can be able to see your son. He was like, but all we can do right now, the officer is right. They cannot go in and remove the child. And he said, and to be completely honest with you, Kiana, you could have left with that child. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, yes, I know in the agreement it says that you have to amend it. You have to modify the custody before you move, but you're the mom. You could have just took him. Like, you could have took him, and they was gonna do the same thing that they're doing now, just make you in contempt. Like, they're just gonna make you in contempt of the custody agreement. They weren't going to arrest you. And I was just like, nobody ever told me that, because that's the language in the custody agreement that, like, yo, you have to do the modification of custody before you leave. Like, they put that in there. But if you would have took him, they was just going to just make you in contempt. He's like, but right now, the officers, all they're going to do is file this report in. But that's going to be good in your case when we go before a judge to, like, let the judge know that, like, he wouldn't let you see him. But I'm just like, I want to see my son. Like, I'm going to be here for a whole week and a half. I want to be able to see my son, spend time with my son. And my lawyer's like, look, I'm going to see what I can do, okay? But right now, the officer's going to file his report, and that's it. You cannot get Carter today. Like you can't get him today. So I'm crying, and I'm, like, glaring at Carter's dad, because I'm just like, you stinking ass nigga, you, because you knew he knew that I was not going to take Carter. He knew I wasn't going to take Carter to Maryland, because he knew I followed that custody agreement to a T. So he knew that was just his way to maintain some sort of control. And I'm just like, oh my God. Okay. All right. So the officer told me when I could pick up the report. I'm just like, all right. I get in the car, and I'm so sorry, Jackson. Like, I'm sorry, because Jackson was in the car sad, because he was excited about seeing his brother. Like, he was excited about seeing his brother. I'm like, Jackson, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know. And then we ended up driving back to my mom's house. When I got back to my mom's house, she was like, what happened? I'm just like, he wouldn't let me get him. So I explained the story to my mama, and she was just like, that's so messed up. Like, that is so messed up. I was like, but see, that's what I was saying. Like, y'all know how this man is. Y'all know what he do. And the fact that y'all were just in his house laughing and joking with him, like everything was cool. She was just like, to be completely honest, like, I tried to come up there and get Carter to take him to the fair. And his dad was like, yeah, you can take him to the fair. But when the day came for me to take him, he was just like, oh, no, we got something planned. I'm sorry. And he would not let me take him out of Savannah. So because he wasn't letting me, like, take him for the weekend, I had to come up there and see him. He was like, we had no choice but to pack up the car and come see him, because he wouldn't let us take him. And it's like, and then, like, when we did try to see him, we came up there one time to try to see him. Carter was at his grandma's house. And I asked his dad, could I, like, take him for a few hours, you know, to go do something. He agreed. I ended up taking Carter to CC's to get him some pizza. And while we was at CC's, his dad was just blowing up my phone. When you gonna bring him back? When you gonna bring him back? So we just ended up just taking him right on back. I was like, see, now y'all see what I mean. Like, this is what he do. He does not allow Carter out of his sight. And you can't say, oh, it's because he's in fear of me or anything that I got going on. He won't even let y'all keep him. I'm like, he's not even letting y'all take him out of Savannah. He's not even letting y'all keep him more than 2 hours. So that should answer right there. So when you call defects, that just made it worse for me. So that's why I was so mad. And when I like explained the situation to them, they understood. They was like, okay, we get it now. Like, we get it now. I'm like, and you see, he's not letting me take Carter. Like, he's not. And I'm showing him the agreement, and I'm saying, like, I'm not leaving. And he knows I'm not going to leave with Carter. He knows I'm not going to leave with Carter. And he just being like that. So I'm just like, just let it be. It'll all work itself out. So I'm sitting there, I'm enjoying my time with my family. We go see my dad. I introduce my dad to Kion and King, and like we do regular family stuff. I'm chilling with my people, just having fun. My best friend come down. I see her, see my goddaughter, like everything was good. I got a call from my lawyer. Like, I'm there. It's now mid-Wednesday. So I've been there for almost a week now. I get a call from my lawyer. It's like, hey, so I came to an agreement with his lawyer, and we're going to temporarily give him full custody. I'm like, what? He said, no, just listen. It's just temporary right now until we go before a judge. We're going to temporarily give him full custody so that you can get Carter this weekend. I said, so I can get him this weekend? He's like, yes, in a temporary order, he's going to have temporary full custody of him, but y'all are going to rotate every other weekend. I was like, but I live in Maryland, so rotating every other weekend don't make sense. He was like, we just did that so that you can get him this weekend. We have to have it on paper that you're going to bring him back on Sunday. So you're going to pick him up on Friday after 6 o'clock and bring him back on Sunday before 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm just like, oh, okay. He's like, that's the best that I can do right now so that you can have time with your son while you're down there. But don't worry, when we go to court, when we go before a judge, we're going to have that contempt report, okay? We're going to have that. And I'm just like, okay, all right. So I ended up driving down that Friday, picked up Carter, and brought him back. Brought him back to my mom's. Like, that was just such a good feeling, even though I only had him for that weekend, which really wasn't even a full weekend. I had him for one full day and a wake up, pretty much, because I got him on, it had to be at 6 o'clock on Friday. Then I had to drive 3 hours back to my mom's house. So now it's 9 o'clock at night, so we're sleeping. Wake up next morning, you have that day with him. And then on that Sunday, I had to wake up and drive back to drop him off. And when I was driving back to drop him off, Jackson was sad because they had all bonded. Like, all the kids had, like, they bonded. Everything seemed good, like, real good. And having to drop Carter off, like, when Jackson and Carter hugged each other to say bye, they both cried. And on the way back to Maryland, both me and Jackson were in the car, like, just crying, because I'm just like, dang, I gotta leave him once again. And I know y'all are probably like, this should have been your time to just go. But at this point, me and Dee, we weren't like fighting like that. We weren't fighting like that to the point to where I'm just like, I gotta get out. Like, I gotta get out. Now it was a matter of what I'm gonna do with King. Like, I can't leave King there. We don't know what's going on with King's mom. Like, I can't. And the whole legitimation process, Darian had stopped that. Like, he completely stopped that because he said he did not want King to have his last name. So we're no longer going through the legitimation process. So what was I going to do with King? So on the way back, I'm like, I'm calling Dee, because the whole time I was there, like, me and him argued briefly while I was there, because it came to a head when I was a couple of days in and I hadn't heard from her. And I'm just like, nigga, like, you ain't asked how we was doing. You ain't asked if we got there safe. Like, what you got going on? Like what you got going on? So we argued a little bit when I was there, but it wasn't like bad, like bad arguments. So I wasn't looking for any tension when I got back home. Like, None whatsoever when I got back home. So we get back to Maryland and unpacked. We unpacked everything. Well, unloaded everything out of the car. And I go in the room and I sit on the bed. D coming there, he was like, so how was it? I was like, I'm like, it was cool. Like, it was cool. It was good to see my family. He was just like, so was my son around that bitch?